Hey guys, HuzzyGames here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to Iron 2 Master. Now we return, I think Gold 2 if I'm not mistaken. And full disclosure, this is a POV commentary of Iron to Master. So we've mentioned a couple of times that sometimes, this is ranked, and if I'm not having a great time or I feel like I need to concentrate about the game or whatever, sometimes I will stop doing the live commentary because I know I always can do these versions and you guys seem to kind of like them. Because, I know I can be a bit salty, and sometimes taking out of, the live commentary bit and doing the commentary after can actually make for a better video. But here's the loading screen, and I'm Gold 2, just got promoted, so yeah, if you didn't watch the video, I think it was on Shen, very quick game, it was like 15 minutes. We got promoted, and we did skip Gold 3. So yeah, we haven't done a single promotion series yet this game. This series. And yeah, we're playing ZOE. So we actually did ZOE for a couple reasons. Firstly, it was donated. Secondly, in the chat was a good friend of mine, Vixie, and she is like a ZOE crazy good player. And obviously, we all have our frustrations with the champion. Meanwhile, the enemy bot lane's looking for an invade by themselves. I start E level 1. It was probably an okay call to do it, but in reality, my E actually didn't get a kill. Maybe I could have taken Q, and maybe the E wouldn't, it doesn't really matter, but it's fine. But this game, I will say, and as you'll watch throughout, why didn't we do particularly a live commentary? I will mention that something unfortunately did happen. The game, I think it was before this, so there isn't a couple games getting uploaded. One of them was just garbage quality, and as you know, even sometimes when we've uploaded a game that I'm like, alright, there's a lesson in here. A lot of people are like, why did you upload this? The game after that, though, we had an incredibly toxic Kiana, and it completely ruined my mind for a long time. And again, she wasn't being toxic to me, but she just said a very, very disgusting thing in the all chat to the enemy team, and it just threw me off. So obviously, yeah, we have obviously reported her and stuff, but today was a bit of a weird day. So hopefully you don't mind this video, and I will say in this game, there was a frustrating thing that was happening in this game, and you will maybe see something questionable by me. I'll just say right now, we do a surrender vote, and I think in this game, I literally said to one of my teammates that was being annoying, I don't mind FFing. Basically just to be like, hey, if you continue playing the way you are, I don't mind surrendering the game. So yeah, full disclosure, that does happen later, but this game I actually think I did okay on ZOE in general, I want to say. Early game, I'm never going to be the best, and that's the one thing I will say. The better you are as a champion, whether you agree with me, let me know. I actually feel when I'm good at a champion, it means that I can also lane phase good on a champion. You guys know me, I'm generally confident to basically play any champion in Diamond, and I'm not just saying that, we've proven it time and time again. We get Smurfs just playing random stuff to Diamond. But I know that obviously I'm not like crazy high level on all of the champions in the game, and the biggest area for me that gets affected when I'm on a bit of an iffy champion for me, I don't really play it, is 100% the early game. 100%. I am confident to basically play anything in mid to late game, because that's just kind of basic team fighting or split pushing or 1v1 with items. Lane phase is a different ball to beeswax. It's completely different, and ZOE has a kind of a unique playstyle in lane phase, because really good Zoes will play hyper aggressive. Hyper aggressive. They'll be looking for sleeps, like trouble bubbles. They'll be looking for them all the time. They'll be landing it, and they'll be starting to build their Dark Harvest stack straight away. Now, Zach was looking for a gank, and my own fault, I went a little bit too early. Maybe Zach could have jumped then, but maybe he didn't have the range, so he didn't. But I went a bit too early, so it did make the Vel'Koz kind of run away. Maybe there was a potential kill or something there, but yeah, unfortunately not. Worth also noting the enemy team had a Shaco this game. And remember, Shaco is what I would definitely call a solo queue champion. There's a reason that I don't even know. I presume he's had some pro play, but it must have been a very long time ago, or done in a kind of cheesy way. I honestly don't remember the last time Shaco was ever picked in pro. Doing a bit of damage anyway to the Vel'Koz land. I believe that would have been my first sleep, and as you can see, Vayne has died, and you can see straight away, look at the chat. So this was something, just remember, Huzzy wasn't in the best of mood considering what happened today, and I've already got a Vayne who's notorious for, hey, just don't die in lane phase. She gets ganked, which is fair enough, but then instantly spamming the chat. You're like, oh no, this might not go very well. But okay, first death, I think that was not a big deal. We will press on and continue. Will also mention, I just saw there, let me just move my camera a bit, because yeah, in this game I actually remember my camera, my new fancy camera died. I don't know why. It might have overheated. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it died. Hopefully it's okay now. And it won't die again. I think I just had it in the wrong setting, if I'm honest. And it turned off like every half an hour or something. But anyway, the lane phase is just continuing. Nothing crazy about the lane phase, if I'm honest. This lane phase was what I would actually call a little bit boring. What is worth noting, you know, champions that are technically good versus ZOE. I'd actually consider Vel'Koz one of them, you know, and how do I, like, know if something's good against ZOE or not? Well, obviously, I'm not really a ZOE player. Meanwhile, Vayne unfortunately dies again, and XD in chat and everything. So when I'm thinking about what can work against ZOE, a lot of the time, I'm not thinking about, like, playing her. I'm thinking about what would I pick against ZOE. Vel'Koz is one of them, 100%. Why? High range. Really high range. ZOE... She's great against low-range things. She's amazing versus some melee things. Yasuo's quite hard for her to deal with because of the wind wall. But generally, ZOE can do well against things that, like, struggle to, like, hit her back. And when ZOE has so high range herself, especially when Ultimate is played in, yeah, like something like Vel'Koz that can just kind of stay away is really effective. So I flashed kind of early there because I knew the combo was coming. And I think we're about to make my first big mistake of the game, if memory serves correct. So I'm desperately wanting to try and get level 6 and, like, stay relevant in the game. We had to burn Flash there because we were going to die if we didn't. And I think we kind of... It might be now, it might be upcoming, but I think I might overstay. Maybe it's not now, so yeah, spoilers, I do overstay eventually. But yeah, again... The sucky thing is when you're getting pushed in as a solo laner, we've all been there, and you're like, dude, I can't back right now, because, like, you know how much gold you're missing if you based at that specific time. So yeah, I think now go back. So yeah, slight spoiler that something happens in the future. So I didn't make a mistake. Forget what I said. Men in Black memory forget thing. Excellent. Anyway, oh, by the way, I didn't mention my glasses. These are computer glasses. You know, we have the gaming ones that have, like, the amber tint. If you're wondering, these aren't prescription. Obviously, I had laser eye surgery a while ago. My eyes are perfect, but eye strain is something that I'm trying to look a little bit more after. And I kind of didn't like the amber tint to gaming glasses. They look a little bit too nerdy. So I just went with, like, standard glasses. I went with, like, a bluish color, and I went with a black. So they'll be alternating, and I won't always be wearing them. But today I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm wearing them today. But yeah, they just look like a bit more normal glasses, I guess. But yeah, go back and pick up our first item, which is you know, it sounds weird, but it is technically a power spike for most mid laners getting Lost Chapter. It gives you a lot more mana, gives you more damage, it gives you obviously sustain in that aspect. So every mid laner, when they get Last Chapter, which most mages in mid lane do, will feel a lot more confident straight away after just getting this one little item. It's crazy as it is, only 1,300 gold, I think, but it's a big deal for a lot of champions. There are some champions that literally kind of, in a way, don't play aggressive, don't do anything until they get Lost Chapter. But yeah, we'll also mention in the bottom left, by the way, today, even though it was a really bad stream, again, the community, especially on Twitch, like, I love you guys if you're watching the YouTube channel, but we're really, like, close Twitch community as well. They killed it, and we broke a new Twitch subscriber record today of, I think it stopped at 1912. Again, we are trying to make 2,000 this month to unlock a new emote slot. Again, if you're only a YouTube viewer, I guess that isn't a big incentive. But I guess the other incentive, if I've not fully announced it, if we do make it to 2,000 subs this month on Twitch, I will play a Twitch jungle game. I literally refused to play that, but a long-term subscriber had the idea. It's like, hey, if you put a goal on playing Twitch jungle, something crazy, and we legit was like, all right, 2,000 subs, we'll play Twitch jungle, and then I didn't really expect to get anywhere close to it, and now we're close to it, which is kind of nuts. Anyway, gonna go a bit aggressive. Just burned the ignite, by the way. That wasn't my ignite, that was the W ignite. So that is something worth noting. On ZOE, I'm not an expert of the champion, obviously, but make sure you're using the W whenever. Like, don't let the W run out. It gives you extra damage. It gives you, like, it's just nice to use every now and then. Gonna go for a bit of damage on him. See what I can do. So get the sleep, get a lot of damage on him, by the way, and I'm going to walk through him with the cleanse, make sure I'm not slowed down. And this, by the way, is nuts. So we're both insanely low. The auto attack got him to 20 health. I also don't die. And if you thought that was crazy, I don't think it was that Q. Very soon, if I'm not mistaken, there is a Q here. How didn't that kill me? Watch that back. That went through me. So, like, if I was the Vel'Koz, by the way, and I was doing a commentary, I'd be like, what the hell? Game? Hello? That should have killed me. Even when we were playing this, and obviously I wasn't doing a live commentary, I don't even think at this point. But obviously I was talking to the people watching live. How am I, again, not dead? Everybody was like, wait, what? That Q went through you. And it genuinely did. So I have no idea how I survived. But we did. So that's a nice thing. But that was a bit crazy. So, as we mentioned, Vel'Koz is a bit iffy for ZOE to deal with because of his high range. Like, if Vel'Koz lands his pure combo on you as ZOE, yeah, you're probably dead. To be fair, not many mages in mid lane actually survive a Vel'Koz combo. I actually do rate Vel'Koz, by the way, as a... I wouldn't call him overpowered in any means, but he is a secret strong pick. People really underestimate him. I'd say big time. So you can see Zach in the chat is saying, stay safe. So he's just telling bot lane, yo, just let's scale. You know, you're already 2 and 4. You're behind a far, but just stay safe. Like, you're not literally going to get any strength if you keep dying. And I think legit, after Zach saying stay safe, yeah, the Vayne went all in and died again. So this Vayne was the problemed player, by the way, that, like, we did have issues with. And that's the person that later on I typed to, like, I don't mind FFing. If you're going to play the same way, like, constantly, we can FF. And I will point out something that, you know, the Twitch chat said was actually a good lesson, and that's why, like, I was on the fence if I was going to make this a POV commentary or not. Like, I personally think later in this game especially, I play pretty well, but I'm mixed about it, but there's a funny thing that does happen, and it will, hopefully, it's not a new lesson technically on the channel, but it's just a great example of it, of, like, when people are making the game harder for themselves and just very simply doing one thing, boom, it's like a light switch. Oh, that makes it easier. And that will be coming later in this video. So, got to be a bit careful. Again, Shaco with the constant pressure, and because of what's happening in bot lane, the Vayne is, you know, always playing hyper-aggressive. And by the way, I kind of saw that gank coming, but unfortunately for me, we have to flash. And, you know, generally the weird thing about this Shaco is he only ganked mid every 5 minutes. So he's ganked mid twice, but there was a 5-minute gap between each gank. So I've had flash both times he's ganked. But unfortunately, here's actually the mistake that we're about to make, by the way. We mentioned earlier that there might be one. Yeah, it's upcoming. So right now, I do not want to base because there's a minion wave. We're going to get pushed into a tower. The tower plate is nearly gone. So it would be really bad for me gold income-wise and letting the Vel'Koz get gold if I go back. The problem is, when you're at low health, you can just die. So bot lane's going well. Really nice gank. And this is what killed me. No, it's not. Forget what I'm saying at the moment. Hang on, we are going to die. So spoilers, we are going to die. Anyway, Shen gets killed in the bot lane. Unfortunately, and I have no idea how, Darius dies in top. The only way I'm guessing how that happened, by the way, is I'm guessing he was looking at the fight in bot lane and got killed. And there we go. So on the stream, I was legit saying I might be dead here, but I feel like I can't go back. Well, that's a great example of I should have just gone back because it makes the situation even worse. So one, I don't get most of the farm. Secondly, I get killed. And thirdly, he got the tower play anyway. So if I went back, he only would have got 2 of those things. He would have got the farm, he would have got the tower play, but he wouldn't have killed me. So it sucks sometimes, but you really do have to kind of think smart about, like, I just have to go back. Yes, it's going to give him the gold advantage. It's going to give him the farm advantage, but that's what Vel'Koz can do. Vel'Koz is really good at killing people who are, like, low or half health or who don't have flash up, for example. Like, he's really good at that. Again, I'm not like, well, I'm hyping Vel'Koz up, but I play the champion. You know, I play him occasionally, and I love him. I think he's great. And I also do consider him a great pick versus ZOE. Like, I would call myself an average ZOE at best, and a average Vel'Koz, I would say, averagely, would be a average ZOE. Where's, like, the problem with ZOE as a champion is that, as we said, I think she is kind of broken, and you will see, like, watch this, by the way. I'm behind in strength and damage. I nearly one-shot him. So that's my point, is the champion is kind of broken, but she's actually really hard to play. So if you take the average player and throw her on ZOE, you're gonna feed, and you probably won't do a lot of damage. You won't find the damage. The skill shots are hard to land. So, and here we go, bang, kill him. So, like, I shouldn't really be able to do that, but I can because I'm playing ZOE, and I'm like an okay-ish ZOE. But an average Vel'Koz, a lot easier. So the unfortunate thing, by the way, and yes, Vayne died again, and this, the problem player was happening, she was just constantly fighting. Like, as a Vayne in lane phase, yes, she was getting, like, ganked a lot by Shaco. There's two things to say about that. One, Shaco went bot lane a lot, probably because of how, like, iffy the Vayne was. But when you know the Vayne is going to go all in, it's free ganks when you're a Shaco. Like, if you know, oh, the AD carry's just going to go all in all the time, I can just keep going bot lane and she's not going to, like, survive. Yeah, just keep going bot. So that's kind of probably why Shaco camped bot lane. And naturally, I think we've spoken about it before. It's the... And by the way, she was auto-attacking minions then. Worth noting, it's the kind of, like, Yasuo effect. Not to be BM or anything, but, like, I've said to you guys that if I'm a jungler and there's a Yasuo on the enemy team, I very often will just legit camp that Yasuo because I know, on average, Yasuo's tilt really hard. Vayne is the same. Weirdly, even though Vayne is a hyper carry late game, they really tilt on average. So it was kind of weird that a late game champion tilts. You know, again, I've seen it before. They're like a Nasus player, literally like a Nasus one trick. Let's FF at 15. It's like, you're playing Nasus. You're like the god of scaling. Why would you of all players want to FF? That makes no sense. But the unfortunate thing that was actually happening, by the way, is yes, the Vayne was very iffy, but what was worse, the Zac did kind of become obnoxiously, kind of toxic, a bit obnoxious. Again, full caps and all that in chat is never going to help. You know, spamming surrender votes, you know, all that stuff. And yes, he could throw a surrender vote if he wanted to. Everybody's entitled to throw a surrender vote. That's fine, but full caps and that, it's not very good. Another thing I didn't even realize, by the way, and I just realized because I kind of was like confused about how I didn't do it earlier in this game. After the Vayne typed XD, you know, 5-10 minutes ago, I actually thought I muted the Vayne, and I kind of realized that, yeah, I don't think I muted her. I don't think. Anyway, Shaco's ganks are less effective now. Why, by the way? How is this happening? So I am pinging, by the way, missing. And this should be pretty easy for my team to back off. Just completely back off, by the way. Do not fight them. Let your mid laner get pressure. The Vel'Koz has wasted his time. But weirdly, I don't think they get away or something weird happens. But yeah, pretty easy. They don't have to pressure anything. Just back off and that's fine. But why is the Shaco ganks becoming less effective? Scaling. So the later the game goes on, Vayne gets better and becomes stronger. Shaco actually, in a weird way, becomes weaker. And yes, I'm aware that Shaco used to have late game scaling, but he doesn't anymore. Zac spam pinging me, I'm not having that. Again, me going down to bot lane as a ZOE probably wouldn't really deter 3 people, because considering how low my team got, that would be me against 3 people by myself. That probably wouldn't work. So I didn't really go there instantly, but I am now, and I will say I'm doing this play because I got spam pinged. I'm like, all right then, let's go for a play, let's go. So I do half elf to the Vel'Koz, looking for some damage on the Soda. Don't know, by the way, what spells these people have. They have Ezreal ult. I'm looking for some return damage. I do a lot. And Sonar ultimate, by the way, that we dodged. And continue the fight. And overall, by the way, we actually did quite a lot of damage overall. Darius, I think, is in the play. Shell ult's coming through. They probably could have... The Darius had ultimate up, by the way, so maybe they could have killed one more auto attack, then with a Darius ult, maybe the Sonar would have died. The fight's actually now happening. Watch the Vayne, by the way. She literally alley-ooped straight into the middle of the fight. She didn't try to go, like, above the fight. She went straight into the fight. The fight is continuing, though. Zac E-ing, and they clump up, and boom, double up. That was actually condemn into the Zac E. So this fight's gone pretty good, but it is worth noting there was no Shaco. He literally just went mid lane and got the tier 2. And yeah, you can see the Zac, like, I honestly don't really know, like, Twitch chat, I remember, was really confused. As a one-time ZOE in. That was my second death. So I don't really know what he's on about. And plus, that again, he's like swearing at me, whatever. So we just mute him. Again, just a toxic guy. We did throw a surrender at the end of the game, obviously. But, like, I don't really know what he wants from me. Like, in that play in bot lane, maybe I could have gone down there. But by the time I would have got there, the enemy team probably would have either backed off or nothing would have happened. And in that fight that we were 1v3ing, we did a lot of damage to them. Like, a lot. Which was good, but yeah, unfortunately we just didn't have a team to do backup at that current time, which is fine. I shouldn't have done that play, but I did it because I was getting spam pinged. I was like, all right, I'll make a play then. And it just didn't go great. Anyway, Dragon is up, worth noting, which is something that we do want. Again, when you technically, I'd say, have the scaling, on your side, then you should look to try and get dragons. But, like, get dragons, but don't risk losing team fights. If the enemy team has a straight early game advantage, just let them have it. Don't risk too much. Don't risk the game because you want a dragon. A lot of people do that, and it's just not worth it. Shaco ganking me. So he has ganked quite a lot, by the way. I actually annoyingly went for the wrong one. And I don't really know how I went for the wrong one there, if I'm actually honest. I weirdly think that he actually got Senna W'd. So maybe I really should have known that was the correct one. But I guess, you know, wasn't playing my best. I know that. So, yeah, like I mentioned, I think this overall will be a good video. It'll be a good one to learn from. But I know, like, I was on the fence if I was going to make this a video or not, because I wasn't playing great. And also, it was just kind of a bit of an annoying game. And by the way, it does get a bit more annoying moving forward. A little bit. Not overly, but a little bit. I get the E, by the way, on the Ezreal. Looking for a bit of damage, maybe? No, I don't. I do ping that we got him, but nothing's going to come out of it. But what you'll notice this game, moving forward, one thing I'll say about myself and about my own play is I think I start doing really well with my E's, the sleeps. As somebody that, again, technically doesn't really play ZOE. I've played a bit of her, obviously, but haven't played her, I'd say, at least for a month now. I was actually really happy in like the mid to late game about my sleeps. So that's a positive, and that's one thing worth noting. Even if you don't have a game that you're like, hell yeah, that was amazing, try your best to look for any positive you can. It could be anything, literally. It could be, I farmed well, or I got that one pick, I got that one smite as a jungler. Literally anything, look for it, and use that as like a positive thing. So we get, again, there's our second good sleep on Ezreal. Again, unfortunately, these are situations that we can't use per se, but it's a good sign to come. It's like, oh snap, okay, I'm on point. Again, that's something that I will be in my mind kind of going, I am doing well with these, and yeah, boom. Just straight up murder the Ezreal. We actually, I think, got the exhaust in there to get the extra W damage, by the way. So all of that combined with the auto attack with Sheen, by the way, that we just picked up. Just straight up murder the Ezreal, who at this time I think was actually kind of fed, or strong at least. So that was a really good pick. That gives us definitely priority in the game. And as you can see, boom, priority in the game. Shaco weirdly went for a play, not going to happen. We land the sleep and the Q damage on the Vel'Koz. Unfortunately, I don't get any of the kills. And I don't even think I got Dark Harvest stacks, because I'm like taking them from high health, and I basically am getting them low, but I don't get a hit on them when they're low. Someone else finishes off the kill, so I'm not getting many Dark Harvest stacks. But overall, really good damage, and now that opens up Baron. I don't know, was I convinced about this Baron? Again, I think it's fine as long as we don't let the enemy team get too close. Again, Ezreal is looking, obviously. Look for the sleepy on him, and I'm like, right, I'm just going to go for the Ezreal. He's alone, going to do a bit of damage, nearly kill him again. Without, and by the way, that was just Q and auto attack. He's going to flash and E and try to escape and everything, but there's literally no chance to fight a ZOE. We get the Baron, I kill the Ezreal, and I think that will be about it. So, game's going well. You know, you can see the momentum is starting to pick up for our team. And this is this game is a clear example of like team comp difference, of like the early game, strength of the enemy team was working, but eventually our team is going to get stronger. A ZOE, you know, ZOE deck technically doesn't outscale a Vel'Koz, by the way, but I am having a lot, you can clearly see, I'm having a lot more pressure than this Vel'Koz. He's not getting many good ultimates off, he's not getting many good combos off, so I'd say we have very similar scaling. If anything, Vel'Koz might scale more because he's got true damage, but we're kind of just pressuring more. And definitely bot lane, Vayne obviously outscales on Ezreal. And I'd say, yeah, Senna definitely outscales a Sona. So, oh, and well, Darius technically should beat a Shen in a 1v1 later too. Looking for a bit of damage, kind of obviously that's my job, is be like a main poker. When I say be a poker, that does also include one-shotting people. That is kind of Zoe's poke in the end of the day, which is kind of funny. Now, what you're about to see is the start to kind of like the absolute craziness. So, as you can clearly see, we're winning fights. And how are we winning fights? Well, so far, we've been grouping really well. When we're together, the enemy team can't do much. So we're going to land a nice sleep on Ezreal. Going to go for the kill. Nearly one-shot the Sona who got in the way. Good that she got in the way. Like Ezreal probably would have died with the increased distance of the Q, etc. Do also land more sleep there, by the way. And going for it and nearly kill the Vel'Koz. But again, not many Dark Harvest stacks from this. I think we got that one. But yeah, boom, we land another sleep. So like I mentioned, we're doing really well with our sleeps. You can see the pressure that I have. But yeah, as I was hinting at, we'd be doing really well with grouping, and look, more damage, but I do get killed by the Vel'Koz. Look where the Vayne is, by the way. I haven't got the foggy why she was bot lane alone. Like, there are some Vaynes that exist that are like, I Vayne, I split push. No. That there's a reason that the only bad Vaynes are known to split push. If you're the AD carry, your job is to group, by the way. Like, just straight up. No matter what AD carry you're playing, group with your team can protect you, and you can do high DPS output. I know Vayne has, like, a 1v1 potential, but when you're an AD carry, just group. Don't overcomplicate the game. And so far, literally this game, everything good that has happened has been when we're grouping up. So when we're splitting and when Vayne's alone and all that, she by the way got killed in solo to the Shen, who was really weak this game. She just died to him in solo. Why overcomplicate it? So that started. It was like, okay, maybe she'll group. You know, that went bad, and she'll have it in her mind. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, now I'll group. From memory, I can just say I don't think she did. I think she goes to split push again. I don't know. Again, I've sometimes have always like thought, you know, voice comm, people have argued about it, and I'd hate the idea of it. The one thing that I'd say about it that does interest me is that you legitimately could like question these players live. Like, I wouldn't probably talk to them at all, like in a normal game, but if someone's playing bad, I'll turn voice comm on during the game, like, what are you doing? Why? Like, explain to me your reasoning of split pushing on Vayne right now. They wouldn't be able to explain because there isn't an explanation. Like, there's not a proper one. It makes no sense. In a game that your team is strong, everything so far has gone well when you're grouping, just continue grouping. And by the way, yes, she's bot lane alone, and yes, she's dead again. Anyway, we're going to go for the Shaco. We get a nice sleep on him. We're going to do extra more damage. We're then going to chase him up. And yeah, we just straight up murder the Shaco. He can't get away. And we were so far away from him, by the way. And that's another thing that I'd say about Zoe. Is that, yes, she takes skill to play. And I think I'm overall playing quite well at the moment. But not many champions can do that. Like, literally, we are so far away. And yeah, that Scuttle Crab duped me. We are so far away from him. The Shaco even has his Q to extend range from me to try and escape, and I still kill him. It's like her chase potential with one-shotting people. Those two things combined on distance that she can do damage. Ooh, it is crazy. Like, just straight up. Like, it is nuts. So in the hands of a good Zoe player, I practically think Zoe is more or less, I wouldn't say unbeatable. Like, there are certain champions that hard counter Zoe, by the way. Like, Vel'Koz isn't a hard counter. He's just good versus Zoe. What's a hard counter? Yasuo is a pretty hard counter. Malzahar's a pretty hard counter. Galio's a pretty hard counter. So there are some hard counters, obviously, to the champion. Not many. But an average mage, like, put an average league mage versus Zoe, versus a good Zoe, yeah, they're not beating her, practically. So I was looking for the Q there if Ezreal would have E'd backwards, but he actually held his ground quite well. And you can see how much I'm looking to pressure. I'm actually risking a bit too much. And if I'm honest, I kind of... this is the point that I was starting to tilt a little bit, because where was Vayne? Again, mid lane, everybody. Yep, she died again in solo to mid, so I kind of lost my concentration. And yeah, there's the clear toxic Vayne, and this is where which we warned about earlier. I said surrender, and I was like, literally, I am happy to FF. And I think I was like, I think I was gonna say, like, literally, if you keep split pushing, or literally I don't care, or like I was gonna say something on the lines of, if you keep keep soloing, we're losing the game anyway. So like, we may as well get it over with if you're not wanting to group. So sometimes, and by the way, when I say like FF, if that FF vote went yes, some people say, oh, Huzz, you just lost the game for your team. Again, if the Vayne continued this playstyle, we probably weren't going to win the game anyway. But I know this sounds like an excuse and everything like that. It's not. Sometimes when this type of situation happens and you have that one teammate that is just driving you mental with split pushing or playing in a bad way, if you do a surrender vote as a tactical surrender vote, be like, dude, we can FF. If you're going to continue doing this and you're just driving us mad, we can just straight up surrender. Easy peasy. Maybe you don't want to win. That's why you're playing that way. When you do that, sometimes, not always, so I will say it's a risk. Sometimes, meanwhile, going for a long range E, Ezreal's going to try and escape, and boom, kill the Ezreal, which is really nice. Sometimes actually getting that surrender vote and making the person the problemed person in your team, making them realize, oh, my team is willing to surrender if I keep doing this. Like, that surrender vote, by the way, was like 3 and 2. 3 said yes, 2 said no. Just takes one more person to say yes. Sometimes it makes that person kind of go, oh, my playstyle is making my team want to surrender the game. Okay, I'll group. And I go, it's a risk because it's not always going to happen. Maybe sometimes people will say yes to that surrender vote. But you can see right now, we're doing Baron. Look where the Vayne is. She's with us, by the way. Just want to point that out. Meanwhile, that was Shaco clone. We get the Baron. So, again, moving together, hopefully as a team. I'm going to look for a cheeky pick if I can get one. Look for the sleep. Don't actually land it. Going to go for extra Q damage because I know they're probably generally trying to escape that way. And yeah, so Darius is top. I'm okay, by the way, with a Darius split pushing. He's a bruiser. They look to split push. I get distracted. Again, full disclosure, I think I was playing well, but I was mentally not in a great place. Like I said, I was playing... Today wasn't great. That's why we're doing a POV commentary. So I was a bit distracted. And there... What distracted me that time? Yeah, Ezreal's build. Did everybody see that? That was Sanguine Blade on Ezreal. Never seen that before, ever. I don't know why he's got it. Again, just to make it clear for people, Sanguine Blade is the solo killing item. So when you're split pushing, I believe it is when you see one enemy or fewer, you gain bonus attack speed and AD. When is this Ezreal killing people alone this game? I don't understand that. So a very weird purchase. And again, it is a relatively expensive item. It's like over 2,500 gold. So to invest that heavily in an item that you're kind of wasting is a big deal. So I would admit, I got really distracted. I pressed tab. You can see I was pinging the Sanguine Blade and then Vel'Koz went for a full combo and I died. So yeah, completely my fault. There's no excuse to that. That's just straight up bad. I'm saying why it happened, but still, yeah, really bad from me. But yeah, hopefully we will get focus back. Obviously, yeah, Vayne is bot lane, by the way, by herself right now. It's not probably terrible she's bot lane right now because we don't have any pressure on the game. We are looking for some damage. We're going to go for the Vel'Koz. Nearly one-shot him. Isn't close enough, and Ezreal's going to return doing a bit of damage. Senna does finish off the kill, though. Unfortunately, Vayne isn't with us again. Senna is now in trouble. I think she should have walked up instead of trying to, like, flank in the team fight. Sonar ultimate comes down, does kill the Darius, and now we're on the back foot, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, questionable that we went for that team fight, I guess. In the end of the day, Vayne wasn't with us, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. Did I engage that or did someone engage it? It might have been me. And now my team should just back off. Again, very Fiesta-y game. Again, you guys probably can clearly see of this video why this wasn't a live commentary. Again, I stopped doing the live commentary ages ago, but it just wasn't a good day, wasn't a great game in general. But what I will say, the one benefit I will, what I'll give this game to, at least it's a close game. A lot of games in Season 10 feel like complete stomps that kind of feel pointless. Like, who's going to win at 15 minutes and then it's a stomp. And like, luckily, this game isn't that. Like, there's actually a challenge to this game. Either team could definitely win right now. So that's what I'd say. That's kind of good. Vayne gets the Ezreal. Again, Vayne at this stage, by the way, is a Vayne. She's a hyper-scaling, late-game hyper carry. So she will eventually just own. It's inevitable. Again, like Thanos. I get the sleep on the Soda. We kill the Soda. Shaco again has fallen off by this time of the game, and we will look to push into the enemy base, I presume. I don't know where Vel'Koz is or Shen, but again, they're probably defending. There's the Vel'Koz. He does do, I think, a little bit of a combo. I'm not sure if he used ultimate. Zac engaging over the top with an ultimate. Senna W is going to root these Vel'Koz. He does get caught. He will go down by the high range of Senna. And this will be, I think, the game. So yeah, very weird game. And notice, by the way, how we're ending it. Vayne is grouping. She's not split pushing. Funny that. It's funny how the split push didn't help us do much at all. Weird, I know. Yeah, and that's sarcasm, by the way. But anyway, we're going to look to win the game, doing a bit more damage. The Ezreal does die, and boom, there's the game. So, again, by comp, we would have, like, how this comp should have gone, like, when you're weighing up the champions, yeah, we should have lost the early game. Sure, Vayne should not have died as much as she did in bot lane. Again, she didn't die because of, she died because of mistakes. But she didn't die because they had lack of vision. She died because she was predictable and that she only was fighting. So, like, Shaco went bot lane a lot because Shaco knew Vayne's going to die all the time because she's playing too aggressive for a Vayne. But anyway, we gained 29. We went 6-6-5 and damage-wise doing the most damage on my team by quite a bit. Ezreal does the most damage overall. I do second most damage. And yeah, quite a big difference between me and the next person on my team. Same does go for Ezreal and his team. His team didn't do great. And yeah, our Darius really didn't show up at all this game. Again, versus a Shen, The Darius is a really good matchup into Shen, by the way. Like, you can kill Shens as Darius. This guy didn't, so it's a bit weird. But overall, there's a POV. Hopefully you guys don't mind it. Overall, I'm actually kind of happy with how we played in a lot of ways. But obviously could have been better. But that's going to be it. Like, subscribe, comment down below. See you guys next time. Peace.